Hello, and welcome to another episode of Nerd BS. I'm Alan, and we are on episode 45. It is Wednesday, November 2nd. We're a little late from our Halloween episode that we were going to do, but we kind of already did a Halloween episode. You can go check that out. I don't know. I don't remember what that movie was called, but it was the Werewolf Marvel movie, Werewolf by Night. There it
Yeah,
is. Now I
Werewolf by
remember
Night.
now. Yeah, so um, and I'm joined here by with.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know if that was my cue.
I
Um,
don't. Yeah, this is a terrible start. I apologize to everybody. We're trying new things. Tom's
hey,
not here to hold in the reins. What do you got? What do you
yeah,
got?
hey, this is Tomas. I'm excited that you guys could all join us. I'm just gonna plug myself real quick, Alan, since I'm here. Uh,
Wow.
yeah, I'm just gonna do this real quick because I figure, we gotta get it done. We gotta get it done
Mhm.
early. Uh, so my Twitter is at TomasFDS86. My Instagram is the same exact thing. My website, TomasFDS.com. I post short stories. Please come and read some. I posted one last week. I'm gonna post one this week. So, yeah,
This is a weird shotgun start.
yeah.
Since we're
Sorry.
doing it, I guess I'll go through my end real fast. You went really fast. You just got. If you didn't catch all that, all those his name multiple times in many different places. All of that information will be down below in the description. So if you didn't catch it by ear, you can at least copy and paste or look it up right there. We do have our own social. Uh, we are at nerd_bs on Twitter. The newly purchased by Elon Musk Twitter,
Oh god.
which from what I've heard is the obscenity rate has gone up 500% since he purchased it. So that's a good start to that platform. So we'll see how long we're there. We also have our email is nerdbackstory@gmail.com. My personal Twitter, which is at ScadMatrix. And you contact any of those, and you can join our Discord server where we Discord about a lot of things. And I will also have a link down there if this is an older video where you, because I think the links only last a little while, but if you catch it early, you can probably get in there quick. If not, just contact one of those places. So anyway, so how was your Halloween, Tomas? You do anything
Uh,
exciting with you and your fiance? Your exciting no children life. So you must have done something crazy, right?
right? You would think so. Uh, no, we stayed at home and we watched. Uh, we got into a new TV show called The Great on Hulu.
That doesn't
It's,
sound horror.
no, it's not at all.
Wow,
Um,
you just ignored the season,
I,
didn't you?
well, I mean, it's I I'm not a huge horror person. Although after she went to bed, I did stay up and I watched actually I want to say I watched a horror movie, but I don't think I did. I think I watched an action movie called Kate. So I don't know. Whoops. It was no it was a quiet
Slipped right
night.
by you.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I've never I like my friends have always been more into Halloween than me. Like you and Justin and stuff have always been more into it. I don't know if Justin was more into it, I guess. I just know that you enjoy horror and
I
Halloween.
do. Yes.
Yeah. So I've never been that into it. I'm sure if I was around people that were into it, I would be more into it because I've gone to parties and stuff like that. But no, we just watched a show that was absolutely hilarious. I recommend it. Uh, but
The Great, you said?
yeah, it's called The Great. It's about Catherine the Great of
Oh,
Russia,
okay.
and it's absolutely hilarious. And I know that people get like kind of in a fit about like, oh, historical pictures because there's a lot of like black people and you know people of ethnicity in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
For
think.
yeah, like uh so essentially it's just like, oh, all these Russians wouldn't be black and stuff. I've seen stuff like that. And it's just I don't know, it doesn't take away from it. I still find it funny and I still find it enjoyable. But
Yeah, I don't know why anybody really cares about that much, but either way.
but
Uh,
what'd you do? What'd you do for Halloween?
well, we did go trick or treating with my
Okay.
son. Um, but I did watch a couple things this holiday season, this Halloween season. But we did go trick or treating. We enjoyed ourselves, and uh, when we got back to the to my sister in law's house, I put on a very spooky movie called The Mummy from the original Mummy. So that was a
The
fun one. It was
little
just on in the background. People
Brendan
were
Fraser one, right?
no, not the Brendan Fraser one.
Oh, the old
The
school one.
original Mummy. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
wow. Wow,
Universal Monsters Mummy.
you took it back.
Yeah, I like to do that. Well, my sister in law particularly doesn't enjoy horror movies, and she gets very
Mhm.
scared easily. So I just put something on that was a little less
Yeah, yeah.
less horrifying, so people could just kind of
Mm.
enjoy it in the background, anyways. But I did watch Hellraiser actually with my son the day before Halloween, and I've never seen a Hellraiser film
Yeah.
before. Um, I've heard of them. I've heard of Pinhead, but
Mhm.
there was a reboot that came out on October 7th, and we watched it together. I enjoyed it. It definitely wasn't like amazing. I didn't find it
Uh,
too incredible, but I thought it was very fun and it was quite gory. Um, so
you know,
I mean, it was all right.
speaking speaking on stuff like that, this was on Hulu, right? The Hellraiser?
Yeah, it's a Hulu original, so
Yeah.
it's associated with them, so it's on there.
So, did you see the Hulu original Prey, the, like, Predator one?
No, I'm actually I'm a fan of the Predators and Alien, and I haven't watched a Predator movie since like the second AVP. I didn't watch the reboot,
Yeah,
and Predators, and then
I heard
Prey. You know,
I heard AVP was really bad, but anyways, because I saw Predator 1 and 2.
yeah, those two are amazing. I own those ones. Those are fun. Those
Yeah,
are fun movies.
but this Prey one, it was fun. It I wouldn't say it was anything amazing or anything, but it was
Yeah,
fun. I
I
If you wanna see if you like Predator and you wanna see a new Predator film, at least, it was worth seeing it for free on Hulu, you know?
yeah, I have another friend who keeps asking me if I've seen it yet because they really enjoyed it. So
Mhm.
I'm curious. But I haven't been curious enough to actually go watch it yet.
Yeah. See,
So
like, I don't like horror, but I'll do, like, Predator, and I'll do Alien, and I'll do, what was the other one? Resident Evil, you know, I'll do those ones.
what about The
But,
Thing?
like
Have you watched The Thing?
no, I haven't watched the thing.
Oh, we should watch The Thing.
What is it on? I'll add it.
I think it's on. I think I saw it on Paramount Plus or HBO Max. I can't remember. It was on one of those
Alright.
platforms. But it's usually around. It's a good one. It's more of a monster type isolation
Mhm.
movie. It's very Lovecraftian or cosmic
I
horror-ish.
did I did see I know this is really, really old by now, but I did see New Mutants on Disney Plus.
Yeah, that's the X-Men one, right?
Yeah, that was it was good. I thought it was good, at least. I
You
don't
thought it was
know.
good, and that's surprising. Yeah, I haven't seen it,
Yeah,
so I heard
I don't know.
mixed things.
Horror
I wanted to
fans.
see it because it had Arya on it, so I
Mm,
kind of wanted to see it, and I thought that was funny because how long it took it to come out. She had aged so much because
yeah,
she was
yeah,
very young when it came out, and like
yeah.
people were
And
asking
it
if there was any chance for a sequel, and like,
I
well,
don't think
I
so.
mean, it's a little late.
Yeah.
Everybody's grown
Um
up now.
But I mean, it was a bit predictable, like, I kind of was like, "Oh, okay, this is gonna happen. I know what's happening," but at the same time and also, I'm not a horror I don't love horror movies, so I wasn't looking through it with that kind of passion either,
Yeah,
but by the end of it, I was like, "Oh, yeah, that was I enjoyed myself."
that's cool.
I thought the acting was on point, I thought the story
Yeah.
was good.
I liked the idea of a horror movie based in
Yeah.
like superhero stuff, so I did want to check it out because of that reason, but I just haven't had a chance to sit. I haven't sat down and watched it yet.
No, I think it'd be great if they started expanding the kind of genre out of action, like just solely action. Because I'll be honest with you, dude, I was watching the end of Miss Marvel, and I haven't even started She-Hulk yet. I was
You
watching the end
know,
of Miss Marvel, and I was kind of like, I'm getting to that point where I'm starting to get sick of Marvel. Like,
you know, I had this epiphany today actually because you guys have been semi bringing it up. It hasn't been like straight up I'm tired, I'm getting tired of this stuff,
yeah,
but it's been you haven't really been getting hooked into the series. And I did like Miss Marvel, but I liked Miss Marvel's comic a lot, so
mhm,
I really enjoyed seeing that, on the screen. And then I was watching She-Hulk with my family, and besides the fact, we have to get together to watch it, which is the hardest
mm,
part. Uh, I just really haven't had any issues. And then even today, it's not even just Marvel. It's like I have Ring of Power that I want to watch. I
mhm,
Andor, which I really want to finish Andor, but I haven't sat down and watched it yet. And
yeah,
then also this Game of Thrones one, and I'm just kind of.
oh yeah,
And so today I was like trying to figure out what to watch, and I was like, well, I probably should start this Game of Thrones one that everybody loves, and I did like Game of Thrones a lot, so
mm,
I want to watch it, but I just couldn't get pumped for like anything. I was just like, this is I don't know what about it. I need something new, which is
mhm,
what led me to start watching The Bear that came out this year on June
yeah,
23rd. It's a interesting show that I don't know if it's. I think it just came to Hulu directly, but it's made by FX, and it's just a show about a cook that his brother commits suicide and leaves him a restaurant. And so the whole it's just and that's what's nice about it is it's very short. It's only like 8 episodes. Each episode is only 30 minutes long. So it took me like 4 hours. Like I finished it today. So I it was a very unique and different experience. And I really enjoyed it because of it actually felt different, which was
mhm.
something that I definitely needed something that I could just take a deep breath, and just kind of watch something that's not a over popular TV show. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
So yeah, but yeah, that was kind of my thing with that one. But anyways, The Bear is really good. I didn't. It's not new. It's actually came
Yeah.
out earlier this year. I mean, it's newish, but it's enjoyable. So I would highly recommend checking it out. I thought it was really good.
Well,
And I guess there's another season too at some point next year. But still,
saying that on, like, experiencing something different and stuff, and it got me thinking, I actually recently watched a series on Netflix, what is it? Love, Death, and Robots.
yeah, I
Uh,
heard of that. Yeah, I
it
keep meaning to go watch it because it sounded a lot like the Animatrix or
Actually, Alan, it's really good. It is I stayed away from it for a while because I was like, I'm not sure I'm gonna like animation switching every episode. I like my animation, blah blah blah. I had tons of excuses for not watching it. And eventually I just sat down like last week and I was trying to find something to watch and I was like, no, I'm bored of the Marvel stuff. I'll get to She-Hulk later. And I
yeah,
saw this on Netflix because it just came out. There's a brand new season, and I was like, "All right, I'll see this." And man, I couldn't put. I sat there for like an hour and a half, and they're only like 11 to 15 minute episodes,
yeah,
and I sat there for an hour and a half, like a full movie's worth. I wasn't planning on doing that. I was planning on watching like a couple episodes and then going and watching something else.
yeah,
But dude, I watched like a full movie's worth of this stuff. There are ones that are funny, there are ones that are gripping and kind of terrifying, there are ones that are suspenseful, there are ones that are action packed, there are ones that are uh have real questions and things like that that make you ponder, like, oh, is ethics, essentially, ponder the ethics of something.
yeah.
And I'd recommend it if you get a chance, and you just if, like I
I
said, 5 to
Yeah,
15 minute
I keep
episodes.
meaning to check it out. Star Wars did a Visions, which was very similar to Animatrix, and that's what this
Mhm.
style is. It's like the different artists and different, story writers and everything, but all like in a similar theme. So
Mhm.
I have been meaning to check it out, and you're not the first person that's
Yeah.
who suggested it. So
Well, I
I
know it's
keep
been
meaning to
out.
check it out.
Yeah, I know it's been out for a while, and
Yeah.
like I said, I just was like, "Alright, fine, I'll watch this." And man, I was blown away.
So I'll definitely have to check that out for sure. But you do watch the Witcher show, correct?
Yes, I
I know
do.
you.
Yes,
Yeah.
I
Have you
did.
watched them all? Because I know you're a big Witcher fan. At
Yes.
least Witcher 3. I don't know about the other ones, but I
I
know you.
I was Witcher 3 opened my eyes to the series. I was one of those people that jumped on the bandwagon when Witcher 3 came out. I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, this is good."
I've never really been in the huge into the series very much, in the games very much, or the books. I did watch the first season of the show, and I got to like I think it's the second episode, maybe the third. It was the one with the rich guy that was stuck in the house, and
Oh, yeah. It's
he had
like the
that
3rd.
girl.
I think that's the
Yeah, and it
3rd.
and it was a good episode, and I was actually discussing this with a friend the other day. It was like a really good episode, and I remember it very well, but for some reason after that episode, I had no desire to go back, so I just
Hmm.
never did, and so I'm out of the loop now, but
Yeah.
they're switching over to a new actor. Henry
Yeah.
Cavill is leaving, and Liam Hemsworth is replacing him, and I think Liam Hemsworth what? He's the brother of,
Yeah,
the other
Chris.
Hemsworth, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
Chris
Chris
Hemsworth.
Hemsworth. And
Yeah,
isn't
because
there a 3rd Hemsworth?
I think so. I think there's 3 of them. I don't know if they're all
Yeah.
actors, but I know at least those 2 are, because I know Liam's been in another couple of things as well.
Yeah, I know he has been in other things as well. Uh, so, I mean, me personally, for The Witcher, if you're gonna watch the series, watch the 1st season. The 1st season was really good.
Yeah, I
The
did enjoy
second
it.
the 2nd season, was enjoyable, um, but you could start to feel it going down, and then, man, the 3rd season just really hit for me, it kinda hit rock bottom. I didn't really enjoy it. I've heard things about it that Cavill had a lot of issues with it as well. He was fighting a lot of the writers and stuff because they were trying to uh, make light of certain things that he thought were very serious, you know?
Okay.
Uh, so I don't know. I don't know if I'll watch season 4. I probably will give it a shot because I watched the other ones.
Mhm.
Um, I've never read any of the books. Like, I've read a bit of the lore here and there on, like, the wiki pages and stuff like that, and I played number 3, and I enjoyed number 3 a lot, but I'm not a big, hardcore Witcher fan, and so maybe a hardcore Witcher fan is gonna see season 4 and be like, "Oh, this blows." And maybe I'll see it and I'll be like, "Oh, this isn't half bad," because I don't know the lore that well,
Yeah.
but I'm hoping it's still gonna be good. I'm at least gonna give it a shot.
So, yeah, well, I hope you do give it a shot, because I always feel like it sucks that a show has to end just because
Yeah.
one actor decides to leave.
Mm.
But what's funny is Henry Cavill actually originally left from playing Superman to play,
Mhm.
this Witcher character, which Geralt, I think his name is Geralt.
Yeah, Geralt.
Um,
Geralt or Geralt. I think it's I
I
think
thought it
on the
was a
West we would
G.
I think on the West we'd say Geralt, but
Okay.
on the East they'd say Gerald. I don't know
Okay.
though. I
Well, then
don't know.
we know it's Geralt then if it's
Yeah.
we know who does the English the proper way.
Yeah, okay.
With our herbs or herbs. Sorry, we don't pronounce the H. That's what it is.
And and our couleurs.
And our colors. Um, but so he left playing Superman to play Geralt, and then now he's leaving to go back and play Superman because
Man.
James Gunn is taking over with somebody else. What was the other person's name? You said
Hold
it
on.
earlier,
I have it right
but
here. It's,
he's left to
Peter Safran.
Peter Safran. They're going to be they're not starting over the DC cinematic universe, but they are taking the helm of the DC
Mhm.
cinematic universe. They're basically taking over, taking the same role as I can't remember his name, who does the
Feige.
Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Is it Feige or
Yeah,
Feige?
Feige,
Feige,
Feige.
okay.
Yeah.
I don't know how to
Um,
actually say it. I think it's Feige though.
Yeah, but so he's going to be in the same role as that,
Mhm.
and now Henry Cavill is leaving to go reprise his role as Superman, and he looks forward to starting to have some serious discussions with James Gunn to see what the future holds for Superman, the
So
possibility of a Superman versus Black Adam.
so here's
But we'll see.
here's my thing for you, Alec, because I personally am excited for this. I
You
don't
know,
know how you feel about it. I'm excited about it. But
it's
here's my go ahead,
yeah.
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say it's hard to get excited about anything with the DC, but
Mhm,
because DCEU, since they're constantly changing,
mhm,
um, for very real reasons. There's obvious
mhm.
problems in their cinematic universe. I mean,
Yep.
even Black Adam, from what I've understood by people, and I have not seen it currently, but it did not get the greatest reviews. So I don't know what that holds in store. And
Yeah.
because of the way the DC movies have been, I usually avoid seeing them in theaters because unless like they're for some reason have just insanely good reviews,
Mhm.
because I just don't want to be burned again.
Well,
Uh,
so here's my thing for you. Do you think that this will save the DC
I
EU?
don't think saving the DC. I think anything in the positive direction is good. Will it save the DCEU? I can't say yes or no. I don't know what it's
Mhm.
gonna do. I mean, he did a good job. I think he was the
Suicide
director
Squad.
of Suicide Squad,
Yes, yes,
but
yes, he
not the
was.
Academy Award winning one. So I don't know if he will save it. Um, but that was a decent film. I did watch that one. I didn't feel it was like amazing, but I did feel it was definitely in the right direction, and it was good. It was a good movie. It was enjoyable. So
Yeah,
I feel that if anybody's going to take it over, that's a decent choice.
yeah.
Hopefully, they get some things actually running together well instead of
Mhm.
whatever mess there is now. Um, but yeah, so
Agreed.
I'm guessing it sounds like you're excited about that. I am too. I like
I
Henry Cavill as Superman. I
yeah,
actually enjoyed the Superman movie, the
I did
newest
too.
one. So I there's problems with it, but like overall, when you compare him to some of the other DC
You mean
movies,
you mean Man of Steel, right? Not
Man of
Batman
Steel,
versus
yes, not
yeah,
Batman v Superman, Man of
yeah,
Steel. I actually enjoyed
yeah.
Man of Steel. I
Same,
even
yeah.
enjoyed the Snyder cut of Justice League, even though it was still
See,
too
I still
long.
haven't seen that one.
I'd
So,
watch it. It's fun, and I'd
yeah,
definitely watch it in black and white. But you won't. But I would. I'll tell you to, but you
alright.
won't, and that's fine.
I won't.
I understand. But I felt it would actually added a weird uh something. It added something to it that I felt that
Mm,
it needed. Um, but anyways, so that's our movie TV show stuff news. But moving over to video games, we got a couple things here. We're gonna start with because this happened. I think this is announced today. I kept seeing stuff for it. Yes, today, November 2nd. But by the time you watch this, I don't know if it's gonna be or by the time it gets out. Either way, the PlayStation VR2 has finally got its price tag. It's coming out in February at the shocking price of $549.99. It is $50 more expensive than buying a PS5, and it requires a PS5 to use.
oh god.
So, to use this PlayStation VR2, you will be required, if you do not have a PS5, you'll be required to spend at the bare minimum $1,050, and that's not including any games or anything like that. So,
But is
it's a
it
pretty
worth
steep
it?
price tag. Uh, I see. Here's the thing. Yeah.
I've
So
never played any VR games, so I have no idea, and
I never owned the PlayStation VR, but I knew somebody who did, and I played their PlayStation VR quite a bit because I
mhm,
was stuck at I was stuck at somebody's house, and they were kind enough. I was stuck at my in-laws' house, and
mhm,
my other in-law who owned it was kind enough to bring it over because we were stuck there, and so they're like, here, why don't you guys play this while you guys are stuck, so you have something to do.
yeah,
And
yeah,
so I played it quite a bit at that point, and I really enjoyed it. My son has an Oculus, or I guess they're called Meta 2, whatever you want to call them. And I've
Okay.
played that a bit, and it is really good. And so this is the next step in that iteration. And I actually wanted a PSVR. I never got one because I couldn't justify it because of all the wires. This
Mhm.
one is one wire that just connects directly to the PlayStation 5, and that's it. So that's something I can get behind. And I am seriously looking into possibly getting one of these because I really like that. And by the time I wanted to get the other one, or even thought about getting the other one, it never went down in price. So even if you
Uh-huh.
bought it used, you were paying the same price as you bought it
Yeah.
new. So I could never justify it. And I didn't really want to get Meta 2 because my son got one. So I just didn't really feel like it.
Mhm.
But this, I love my PS5. And so I wouldn't mind experiencing again, experience the VR with the PS5 and this device. There could be some really cool stuff. My main issue right now is from what I've heard, and I'd have to look into it again to see for sure, but it is not backwards compatible with the PSVR
Ooh,
stuff. So that
that
means that any
stinks.
game that came out for PlayStation VR will need to be updated for the
Mhm.
PSVR2, and that becomes a problem when you have games that are a little older and the developers aren't willing to work on them anymore. So it's even worth for them to update it to play the PSVR2 or even remake it for the PlayStation 2, PlayStation
Mhm.
VR2. So I worry about that. So I'm kind of concerned how many games there wasn't that many games for PlayStation VR
Yeah.
to begin with. So it does say right here there are 11 new PSVR2 games announced, which is
Oh, okay.
good. So why don't we can read these off real quick and
Yeah,
see if
let's see what they
anything.
are.
Yeah, see what we got here. We got um the Dark Pictures Switchback VR, which it looks like it's a roller coaster shooter game.
Okay,
We
okay.
have Crossfire Sierra Squad. It looks possibly it's a first person shooter, so a first person shooter with the
Alright.
VR.
That
Um,
that that to me sounds like what the VR was made for.
for
Like,
first, when I've played
really?
VR games, I think experiences are better in my opinion. The stuff I played, like Beat
Okay.
Saber is really fun, and then like experiences. I find a lot of fast movement in VR, which usually
Is too
like
much.
shooting
Okay.
involves. It makes it a little more difficult to do with the technology, and maybe it's
Uh-huh.
better now because this technology is a a newer
Advanced.
version, so we don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
We got the Light Brigade, which is a single player roguelike experience with
Mhm.
gunplay. So it's interesting. What I got Cities VR. So I don't know if you played Cities on
No.
PlayStation 4. So it's like a Sim City type game.
Mhm, mhm.
Cosmonius High, which is just it's a job simulator,
Oh,
vacation simulator.
oh,
So
okay.
they made those games, so they're making this game too. So it's another one of those styles. It's gonna be a simulator, which
Alright.
they work well in the VR stuff.
Helmet.
Hello Neighbor, Search and Rescue. Um, so I don't know what this is.
So, like, survival?
Yeah, I don't know.
Human
It looks like
created.
probably just like an experience. Yeah, okay, so you're like saving your friend from a house, it seems like. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
probably just an experience. We got
Mm.
the Lost World Aftermath collection.
That
So
sounds like it could
that
be
could be
fun.
interesting. Pistol Whip VR. So a lot of like shooters and stuff.
Yeah,
Uh
Zenith. That looks
Zenith, yeah,
kind of
Lost
like,
City.
is that RPG? That looks
Yeah, it looks
RPG.
kind of like could be an RPG. Or maybe I'm getting a dungeon crawler vibe from the art, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. I haven't really looked into these. This is all new to me because I haven't looked into this.
yeah,
After the fall, the post-apocalyptic version of LA.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
saying tentacular. Uh, so yeah, there's not. Yeah, that's all the games that are announced right now. But these are just the new ones. There could be some other ones that were announced.
Yeah.
I'm sure some of the games that were on PlayStation VR, I almost guarantee Beat Saber is going to find its way over. That's one of the most popular VR
Mhm.
games that I've seen at least in my bubble. I know a lot of people who play it and like it.
Mhm.
So I'm excited for that. I want like I said, I want to get it, but I'm still hesitant, but I'm
Mhm.
also I kind of feel I'm at the point where I just really want to have a VR unit, just because it
Yeah.
is fun. It is a fun thing to have.
Mhm.
And if it's connected to my PlayStation 4 or 5, it could be really fun. There could be a lot of really cool games for it. And they usually, I think they've already said the Horizons New Frontier is going to have a VR mode as well.
Yeah, I
So
was
there's
thinking about that.
yeah, so there's gonna be some more VR modes and stuff added. So this might be my VR unit that I jump in, because I've been
Mm,
really getting into the PlayStation 5, much more than the PS4. I mean, at least it feels that way. Um, but yeah, so I'm excited for that. But speaking of games coming out on the PlayStation 5, we have Gotham Knights, which came out
yeah.
the last couple weeks, I think. I don't know exactly when you got
Yeah, I
it.
think it's been 2
2
weeks.
weeks now.
Yeah.
I did not get it. I thought about getting it, but upon hearing the reviews coming out and everything else, I just decided to avoid it. And I'm not regretting that at all, at least right now. But let's see. What do you feel about Arkham Knights? You've actually played it. I don't know how far you've gotten into it.
I beat it.
Okay, so you've finished the game.
Yeah.
Did you finish it via co-op, or did you finish it via single player?
I finished it via single, but I helped Bri finish it via co-op.
Okay.
So, I did both. I okay, I'm sure a lot of you have known this by now. I am a huge fan of Batman. I'm a huge fan of Gotham. I love the whole genre. Uh, excuse me. Um, so I love the whole genre. And that being said, uh, it it definitely suffers from the frame rate. I wish they would put the frame rate up or give us an update or something, because it feels a little clunky sometimes.
Yeah, that was my concern, because I think that was one of the first thing I said when I in our Discord. I asked how people felt
Yeah.
about that, because we've gotten very spoiled on the PS5 that everything just kind of works at around 60 frames now.
Mhm.
And so when this game announced that they were going to be stuck at 30 frames on the PS5, I was curious how people were going to react. So this is an
It
interesting reaction.
it is mainly in the combat that you feel this. Moving through Gotham, doing the detective stuff and stuff like that, you don't really, at least me personally, I don't really notice the difference in the frame rate. Now, if I get in a fight with some thugs or something like that, I almost instantly notice the frame rate because the combat. Anyone who's played any of the Arkham games, even the first Arkham game, which was probably uh, the most rigid of them, the combat was extremely fluid. It was very well designed. It was quick. It fit well. It didn't drag on. Man, sometimes I'm wailing on some of these bad guys for like a minute, and I'm just like, Jesus, can you just die?
Yeah.
Yeah, so but it is mainly the frame rate that I have the problem because I will. Oh, and I also don't like that they don't have a counter in it anymore. They've made it much more like Spider-Man's combat, where there's just a dodge.
Ah, okay.
And so that can also make it the combat a little awkward, at least for me, because I will slide out of the combat screen. You know what I mean? Or I'll
Mhm.
slide over the roof and I'll start hanging on the roof. And it's like, no, what I just wanted to dodge. Like,
Yeah.
so yeah, but those things being said, the story is no Arkham story. It's not gonna be like you're trying to guess on every turn what's happening, what's going on. Oh my word! And I think that's a little bit of a fault with the spoilers that we deal with now, because I knew who the main villain was because of things that I saw on Twitter.
Yeah,
You
and
know,
they also, I mean, like, even Arkham Knight, when you make a game for Batman fans,
Mhm.
and you start even just hitting similar notes, you're probably not going to surprise your audience. Although I will give them credit because I was surprised in Arkham City. That was one of the first games I've been surprised in a long time.
Yeah,
That ended. That threw
that
me
would
off.
yeah, Clayface
Way off.
spoilers,
Yeah,
Clayface
it's
threw
way
me
old.
off.
But yes,
Yeah,
that threw me off like crazy. I was like floored
yeah,
when that I
I
was like,
was
whoa.
and after that, I was expecting so much for
Yeah.
Gotham
Gotham
Knight,
Knights.
right?
And when it was
Yeah,
just essentially it
and
was
Red
just the
Hood,
Jason Todd story,
yeah,
and they just changed his alter ego. Instead of Red
yeah,
Hood, he was
he
Arkham
was
Knight,
Arkham Knight. Yeah,
which was
it was
stupid. It
yeah,
pissed me off, to be honest, when I was going
that
through
one
it.
really pissed me off too.
Because I would have actually
Um,
preferred it not being like this big deal that we've made our own character and all
oh,
this stuff. They kept
I
saying that
know.
we made our own character, and I
That
was like, "You
that made
kidding
me
me?"
so mad. I was like, "That's not your own character."
I would have preferred if they just like, "It's Jason. We're doing a
Yeah,
Red Hood
we're
story."
doing a Red Hood
I would
story.
have
I would've been like,
preferred
"Oh,
that.
cool." Yeah.
Yeah, or even just like did just said it's like Scarecrow and like, oh, just talked
Yeah,
about Scarecrow, and then just Red Hood was also one of
and
the
then
actual main villain, which
yeah,
would have
surprised
been,
us.
yeah, that would have been fine. But when they were trying to tease this whole new
Yeah.
villain and everything,
"We made a
and in
new
this
villain."
one, and I think it's been spoiled enough, but it's been the Court of Owls. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
go about that. It's been all over the place. Court of Owls. I mean, I
yeah,
don't know
it's
the
been
story, and I'm
everywhere.
sure it's a little different, but most Batman fans know about the Court of Owls. I mean, when you see Bruce Wayne dying, you know the Court of Owls are going to have something to do with it. So
Yeah.
most likely. So it
Yeah.
makes sense.
So in playing it, there was never like a crazy page turner where you like solved a mystery and were like, "Oh my word!" Like, um, but it it is fun being back in Gotham. Although I swear to God, they've changed the map again. That city changes every new game.
Yeah,
Like
that was actually a complaint I saw. Is they changed it to look a little more like a modern city instead of
it's not,
it doesn't
yeah,
have a
and
lot as much of the more old style buildings like the other Arkham games had,
yeah,
a Gothic style.
and it's also separated into 3 separate islands. I don't remember Gotham ever being like that.
Oh yeah,
I
I
remember
don't know either.
Gotham being like 2 islands, I think? It's got the mainland and it's got the island. That's all I remember. But anyways, so but like I said, it's also I was a little worried about playing someone other than Batman, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
But it was kind of refreshing. I did enjoy playing Nightwing, and
I
I've also played as Batgirl, and I've also played as Red Hood. I haven't tried Robin yet, but Bri played Robin, and he enjoyed him.
Yeah,
So,
I that was actually some of my favorite stuff in Arkham Knight. I loved the Batgirl level, the Batwoman
mhm,
level, Batgirl level. I loved the Harley Quinn level, and I
mhm.
feel like isn't there? I think there's
There
a
was
Red
a
Hood level
night.
too, right? There's a
I
Red
feel like
Hood one.
yeah, okay. I feel like there
I
was a
don't know if
Nightwing
there's a
one
Nightwing
too.
one, but I know there was a Red Hood one.
Yeah,
And when
you're
I
right.
played those, I it made me go, man, I really wish I could play these characters in the open
Mhm.
world. So in Arkham Knight, when Gotham Knights was announced, I was like pretty excited for it because of that,
Yeah,
and I still plan on playing it. I'm probably just gonna grab it on sale, or just wait
exactly,
for it to come on PlayStation
exactly.
Extra or something, and I'll probably go through it then because I do like the Arkham series. So
Yeah, and
I'll probably give it a
that's my
shot.
advice. That's my advice. If you like the Arkham series, get it when it comes on sale. I got it early because I love the Arkham series, and I've already beaten it, and I don't mind that I got it already. But like I said, I love the Arkham series. So if you want to save a little bit of money, honestly, you can wait for it to come out on sale.
Yeah, well, that's gonna be my plan, but that's good to know. Uh, but yeah, so apparently we're gonna move to our soapboxes because we don't really have anything in tabletop and indie this week, and I think that's probably a good thing. Tomas, you had something you wanted to get at, so why don't you go ahead and do your soapbox real quick
So
here?
my soapbox
Or not quick, you
actually
can do it. Take as long as you want.
my soapbox actually, Alan, will involve some input from you because I started thinking about it when you said that about too much rock. Some people are criticizing Black Adam because some people are saying that they're oversaturated with The Rock. And then I started thinking about what you were saying with Marvel and also Ring of Power and also the new Game of Thrones and having trouble deciding what you want to watch because you know what, just the other night that happened to me and I was just I don't know what I don't know what I want to watch, and that's actually when I watched Love Robot Love Death and Robots. Uh so my question to you is, you know, maybe it's that I wasn't as picky when I was a teenager or young adult, I mean, early 20s. Maybe I wasn't as picky. But do you almost feel like because we have essentially a blockbuster in our homes with Netflix and things like that, do you think that we just have too much to choose from? It's an oversaturation in the market. You know, we've got Paramount Plus, Hulu, Amazon, Netflix, HBO. I'm sure there's more. Uh,
Yes, that to answer your question. Totally. We are spoiled rotten
mm,
with uh new, especially nostalgia bait, which is what
mhm,
we have. We have a lot of nostalgia bait that's around that you go, "Ooh, I like something
yeah,
that was out a long time ago," and then they make it. Like, we got Ring of Power. We
mhm,
got all this Marvel stuff that is now essentially, a lot of these people feel hooked into the sense where they're kinda like, "Well, I've already watched all the other
yeah.
Marvel shows, so
I
I
gotta
might
see
as
this one.
well keep going.
Yep.
Can't stop now. I mean, I
Yeah,
gotta be part of this club." So
yeah.
that as well, and then also we have the Star Wars stuff like Andor. I mean, I do love some of the
Mhm.
Star Wars stuff, but still there's a lot of it. I think that
Oh, yeah.
another Star Wars show just came out, which I completely
Yeah,
it flew
it
under my radar entirely, but
there's that new Jedi one, like, Tales of the Jedi or something like that, right? Is that what it's called?
yeah, I think it's Tales of the Jedi. Yes, I think
Yeah.
so.
Mhm.
So it's just so much, and I
Yeah.
agree. And I wanna go check that one out because that one specifically is supposed to be done by the Clone Wars people. So I'm like,
Oh, okay.
I was excited for that one, but I haven't had,
Yeah,
time to go do it, and a major desire to do it either.
yeah.
So it's just
Yeah,
and I totally agree. So it is a lot of oversaturation right now.
yeah, it's gotten to that point with me, like I said the other night, I saw Love, Death, and Robots because I just couldn't find anything to watch. Uh, a couple of weeks back, I rented uh I rented the new Jurassic Park movie and spent money on a movie that I was sure I wasn't gonna like, which by the way, it was um even more
Oh, that's
than the
upsetting.
first
I
one.
haven't watched it yet, but I've been meaning to. I just
It
haven't done it yet.
it is just kind of there are just moments in it like remember Jurassic Park 2, I think it is, where they're in the tree and there's the T-Rex and they take the baby T-Rex back to the lab with them or something, or is that 3? I think it's 2.
No, that's 2. You're right. You're
Yeah.
absolutely right.
So there's stuff in this one that happens that you're like, "Well, that's really stupid. Why would you do that?" You know what I mean? And it's just kinda like, I don't know. If the actors had half a brain, half the problems would have been solved. But that's me personally.
Yeah. But you're absolutely correct with all that. There's nothing we can really do about it. I mean, right now,
Yeah.
so
No.
it's until people stop watching it. And we
Yeah.
do have, you're right, with all these streaming services. That's why it was so convenient
Mhm.
when the pandemic was in its prime, when these movies
Yep.
would come out directly to our homes. And I was kind of hoping this was going to be just a new thing that we were just going to pay 30
Mhm.
bucks and be able to watch it at home.
Yep.
And now I do like the movie going experience, but I won't deny that honestly, staying home and watching it is much more appealing to me than going out with all these other people.
Yeah,
Especially
there
right
has
now when there's actually a, like, flu going around or something, because I know, like, 3 people
yeah.
have gotten a flu,
Yeah.
recently, and I'm just like, "Oh, great." I mean, it's not COVID, but it's
Yeah, but
still, I don't
still.
wanna get sick.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
it's
No,
just,
so yeah,
you know
f yeah, so no, for me, I mean, yeah, I'm not asking for an answer. I'm more posing the question of, you know, it's almost as if with all the great movies that we have now, with all the fun entertainment that we have now, at the same time, it feels like the movies have kind of lost some of their magic to me, at least. It's like, well, I could watch everything or nothing. So I'm going to watch nothing because I can't choose.
Well, unfortunately, because we are in like this insane content renaissance, you
Mhm.
can go find other stuff to watch. You
Yes.
don't have to watch these specific things. Like I
Yes.
found The Bear, and
Mhm.
then Kyle was talking about another movie. I can't remember what it's called right now. That was like a multiverse movie.
Hmm.
That exists. Uh, the fourth, and it's not really a plug, but it's coming out. The Weird Al Yankovic story is coming out for Roku watchers as well, which
Oh,
is another
wow.
one I'm planning on watching because it looks hilarious as Daniel Radcliffe.
Man,
It's supposed to
I
be.
don't.
Looks like a spoof of like mockumentaries movies, or
Yeah,
not
yeah.
documentary, maybe over dramas. Like Walk Hard and shit like that.
Yeah,
Uh,
like, the
the
what
documentaries that aren't like Elvis that came out.
yes, yes, yes.
Uh, so it's supposed to be like that, and I'm really curious in it because I'm a huge Weird Al guy. I love Weird Al, so and I really like Daniel Radcliffe, so I'm really excited for this one.
Yeah,
So it's just finding you got to kind of step
gotta
out of your
find them all.
box,
Yeah,
yeah, and start watching other stuff because it will get old, and especially like Star Wars. They've been doing the same type of stuff for a while,
yeah,
and Andor has been the first time they've really stepped out of the box and kind of went more of a darker Blade Runner style, which I really love. I'm loving the different atmosphere, like the different feeling in the Star Wars
yeah.
movie again, but it's not doing well. Andor is
Mhm.
not doing very well at all. I mean, I think it was already greenlight for a second season, so I'm happy about that. But
So is it
I,
that people want the
I
Jedi, they want
so
the
that's what
new.
it starts. It starts. What you start wondering is like people want what they're familiar with. I suppose they don't
Yeah,
want the new stuff. So even with that, they're taking a risk with Andor, and the risk is not paying out.
mhm,
So why would
yeah,
they do it again? I mean,
yep.
and so it's going to be a problem. And now we have the MCU, which they are taking risks, but they're taking very
They are.
safe risks.
They're doing it
So
very slowly, although I think the way they're doing it is smart. They're
yeah,
introducing it in little bursts, like, "Oh, here's a little more, and here's a little more," like and yeah,
for
but
sure. So I like I said, I completely agree with you. But do not be afraid to just go watch something else,
yeah.
and find something else that's a little different and give it a shot because there's so much that you can try to. I mean, this new chainsaw. I think it's what is the Chainsaw Man. I keep wanting to watch it
Oh,
because I've been
yeah,
hearing really good
the
things about it
anime.
too.
Yeah,
It's an
I've heard a
anime.
lot of
So
yeah,
I
I've
keep
heard a
hearing
lot
a
of
lot of
good
good
things about
things,
it.
and I'm thinking that it's something that's a little more original,
Mhm.
a little wacky, which I'm a huge wacky fan. I mean, I'm a huge Fully Cooley fan.
Oh my word.
So I love the wackiness sometimes. So I've been meaning to give it a shot, and I just haven't yet. So there's other stuff out there. Just find something
Yeah,
else that you can
definitely.
watch. But well, unless you got anything else on your mind, Tomas, I think we're gonna wrap it
No,
up here.
I think I'm good.
It's a good short episode, but you know what? A short episode is refreshing everyone. So we got to mix it up too, right?
Yep, yep.
All right. So we'll see you next time when we get together. Hopefully Kyle will be able to join us. But until then, we'll see you later, and go ahead and find something new to watch. That's
Yep.
your goal. That's your goal this time.
That's your homework.
Homework. All right. Later.
Alright. Bye.